Hello again, this is James from Team Gentleman Turtles showing off our newest release for our Cuttle beta version for our senior project. So one of the biggest things we added in was the use of a menu system. Instead of just having one plain flat screen, we now have a rotating camera that rotates 90 degrees every time you switch. So credits over here, instructions over here. One of probably our biggest complaint we had early on was the lack of instructions. What we initially did was just tell players what to do. So now it's basically just here for you. These are just the standard instructions for the first level, and we'll add more instructions as we go on. So that quits. Credits when credit is due. And start the game. So probably one thing you will notice is that our game looks vastly different from previous iterations. We've added textures and animations to our models. They are no longer placeholders. I myself thought the seaweed was a pretty nice touch. Chris has put a nav mesh around the flounder fish, just because. The AI pretty much works the same way it always has been. But one thing we've pretty much added in was the use of a particle system around the NPCs. One of the things we did early on was just use a regular lighting system on our NPCs. Unfortunately, what confused players was that that light would reflect off of other objects, including enemy NPCs, causing them to glow greenish and thinking that players would be able to eat the sharks, when in reality they wouldn't be. So we just thought the particle system would be a lot easier just for players to tell. So as you can see, I've grown in the usual fashion. The eel is still chasing me because he's big enough, and I like the fact that we put the new nightmare fuel texture on him. I wasn't going to go to sleep tonight anyway, so there you have it. And we also put animations on the player, so it looks a bit more realistic, so just a still fish floating around. We've added texture collision, mesh collision, and textures on the boat now, so you can rightfully collide with that. I'm now big enough to move the boulder, as usual, and we just slide down in there. Also, another big feature that we added to our game was, of course, the new second level. This is pretty much a pipe game in which you have to avoid those fans at all costs, or else you will die and be cut up. So pretty much in the allowed time before you die, you have to basically just find your way to the very end. We're still working on where exactly that end is. Hey, a barrel. I wonder what I can do with this. And finally, we put collision textures on every single one of the fans, so when you run into them, you of course die. And that is our game so far. Thank you very much for watching.